Episode 8 of Season 2 of Severance, entitled Sweet Vitriol. Ciao. Ooh. Let's get into it. We start out catching up with Cobell. Finally, she is driving her little car into Salt's Neck. She's in deep thought, and Salt's Neck is actually very pretty. Beautiful gowns. She parks to brush her teeth. Now, I don't know why this was just so funny to me, or watching her brush her damn teeth. She just looks so angry looking about it. Okay, like her teeth pissed her off or something. Anyway, she sees a homeless man, and then her phone starts to ring, and bitch, guess who it is? Devin. Now, Devin, didn't Ragabi distinctly tell you not to call Cobell? Girl, she is looming through and through, and you can't trust her. Cobell doesn't answer. She also doesn't interact with the homeless man, and instead gets in her car to leave. Next, there's a diner scene with a customer speaking to the waiter about an accident on North Pine, which was a snowplow that's been flipped over. The waiter knew what he was referencing. Apparently, the guy involved is the son of a Dutch Stevens. They were talking shit about this Dutch Stevens, and when referring to his son, said the apple don't fall far from the gutter. Damn. No, I have never heard that before. They dragged the shit out of this Stevens and his son. As the waiter's talking shit, he slides the customer some drugs. And I'm like, damn. Cobell pulls up looking all mean and shit and locks eyes with the waiter. It seems like they recognize each other. She introduces herself and makes him buy her a coffee. Because period, bitch. Play with somebody else. She tells him she needs a favor and to meet her at the factory. He immediately gets in his car to follow her, just intrigued by this favor. Now, bitch, as he's following her, he drives past a wooded building that says Lumen, and I guess Lumen is just everywhere. Even in Salt's Neck. He pulls up to Cobell's car near a dock that is directly in front of another Lumen building. They are both sitting in their cars watching each other, and at this point I am wondering if Cobell was looking for a sexual favor from this man. Because listen, sis, there is no judgment, okay? This is judgment free. You gotta do what needs to be done, sis, okay? They get out of their cars, and he's appalled that she'd ask him to meet her here. She said she needs a ride to Sissy's. And this is random, but as I look at Patricia in this scene, I see just how much she resembles her brother, David. Twins. I love them both. I've loved them both since for forever. Anyway, he declines to take her. She doesn't want Lumen to recognize her car, which is why she needs a ride. Apparently, she needs to pick something up, and also apparently, they're former colleagues who worked for Lumen as children? Well, shit. He ends up driving her to Sissy's in his pickup, and girl, she is in the back of this pickup truck in the winter time. I know she cold. While she's back there, Devin calls her again, and I'm like, Devin, hang it up, delicious. Girl, Cobell got a ride from this man, and the first thing she does is drag his ass after she gets out the car, telling him he is higher than a bearded vulture. Bitch. Cobell does not fuck around with you hoes. Please stop playing with her. Play with somebody else. Her former colleague tells her to tell Sissy to drop dead. Girl, I'm like, everyone associated with Lumen is just sad or angry or both or missing. Cobell goes to the house where the door is opened by a woman dressed as a motherfucking nun. It's Sissy. Cobell brushes past her and goes up the stairs looking for something. Sissy says she doesn't want Cobell's former colleague on her lawn and referred to him as an addict. Cobell clacked back saying that Sissy was the one who introduced him to drugs. Cobell grew up in this house. Sissy is Celestine's nickname, and her last name is also Cobell, and so I'm guessing they're related. Cobell is upset with Sissy for selling her things. Sissy tells Cobell that Drummond called the house. Lord child. Cobell wants the key to her mother's room, but Sissy tells her that ain't nobody going in that room until everyone who remembers her sits with Kier. Cobell wants to know what her mother's last words were, and then implies that it was Sissy who pulled the tube from her mother's gullet. That pissed Sissy off, and she slapped the shit out of Cobell, and I was like, damn. Damn. Sissy implies that she was the one who had to endure her mother's suffering while Cobell was in school. She said that her studies were more important anyway, and that Egan saw Kier in her, and that no apprentice was as good as Cobell. But then she shat on her, calling her a disappointment. Sissy tells Cobell to return to Lumen and plead forgiveness, but Cobell ain't for the shits. She implies that Sissy showed her mother no mercy. Cobell goes back up to her room and finds the key to her mother's room. She enters to see her mother's bed and belongings, including a ventilator. If I'm not mistaken, we saw Cobell with a part of this ventilator in an earlier episode. She lays in her mother's bed and weeps with the ventilator. It was kind of refreshing to see her vulnerable, honestly. Later that night, Cobell's old colleague comes to get her after battling with Sissy, of course. Cobell says there's something she needs to find. Her old colleague says he liked her mother because she hated Lumen more than he did. Okay, now if her mother hated Lumen, then is it possible that Cobell loves Lumen as much as we think she does? He says that at least her mother doesn't have to live with Sissy anymore, and that made Cobell smile. Is this the first smile we get from Cobell? He then sits on the bed with her and tells her he wants to get high, and so, well, bitch, he gets high. High as a kite, ho. And guess what? Cobell does too. I guess she figured, why the fuck not? Now, bitch, she says she hasn't been high since she was 8, and I'm like, Cobell, enjoy yourself. You've had a rough life, sis, okay? Girl, she then kisses this man, and again, live your life, sis. Get some dick. You deserve it. But she didn't, unfortunately. He tells her that what she's looking for isn't there. They both go outside to some sort of shelter looking for something. Inside, she goes through her old yearbook where we see a picture of her and Egan, Helena's father. She finds an old statue head that has what she's looking for, which is an old notebook, it appears. She's ready to leave and goes to tell Sissy to keep her damn mouth shut, but Sissy is too far up Egan's asshole, and so Cobell tells her that Lumen ruined that town. Cobell loses her shit, saying that Egan stole her designs. She then shows Sissy her notebook with all her designs. She kept it a secret out of fear of being banished. Now, girl, this bitch Sissy then attempts to burn the book. Fuck that hoe. Cobell manages to get it in her possession. Sissy then starts talking shit about Cobell's mother and then calls her and her mother weeds. Cobell, sis, you had every right to go off on her motherfucking ass. Cobell leaves instead in her old colleague's truck. He stays behind. Now, as Cobell is pulling off, it seems like Lumen's squad is approaching. Cobell drives off in time. Devin calls her again and she finally answers. Devin tells her that Mark has been reintegrating, and Cobell knew right away that it was Ragabi. Cobell asks to speak with Mark. Mark gets up on the phone and she wants to know everything, and it seems like Cobell is out for blood, and bitch, go and get these hoes. Go and get these hoes, because it seems like they put you through hell, sis. Starting as a child, go and get your lick back, okay? Now, what did you guys think about this episode? Talk to me in the comments. This was a good episode. I enjoy seeing more from Cobell. But what is gonna happen next, girl?